Hey Classic Tankers, welcome to the channel. Today we're talking about a game that I think will become a classic. It may take a little bit longer to become a classic, but it has been around for 4 years. It came out in beta about 4.5 years ago, and it was technically released as a full game last year to Steam and on its own web pages. Okay, so MyCom is the publisher of this, and it's very similar to World of Tanks in that it's full of tanks. It's full of a lot of PvP and a lot of great maps. Now the maps in this game are huge compared to World of Tanks because the guns on the tanks are modern tanks for the first thing. So the guns can reach a lot further. They're shooting supersonic. Where in World of Tanks, not too many guns are at the supersonic stage yet. And the tanks are set from around 1947 to modern times, right up to date today, or whatever the newest tanks are out in the world today, that the game company is allowed to develop. Whatever militaries or companies that are building these newer tanks may allow them to build. So what we have here is this is a tier 2 tank. So in over in World of Tanks, this could be a tier 6 tank, probably, right? So how it works in Armored Warfare is the older the tank is, the lower down the tiers that it goes. The newer the tank is, the higher up the tiers it goes. And it works along with the tier tree, kind of works along with the evolution of how the technology was developed in real life back through from 1950 basically until I'd say 2014, 2017 basically. So Armored Warfare has everything from older tanks like this all the way up to tier 10. Now it's like World of Tanks where it has a tier 1 to tier 10 system. It doesn't work on nations, it works on dealers. Okay, so we basically have a storyline where we are far into the future in this game. We are probably 60, 70 years ahead in the future than where we are now, and the world doesn't really have governments, it has corporations. And so you have your major drug and arms cartel, and you have your major corporations, and so that's why you have dealerships. And so when you go into vehicles, you don't got nations, okay? That, like in World of Tanks, they have nations, different nations had their own tanks. Here we have different dealerships. So you have Schreiber, and you have Wolfie, and she has her tech tree of tanks that she's dealing out, okay? So these people are basically arms dealers, okay? Modern to date arms dealers, and you go into here and you can work down to the Shishkin line, which is my favorite line. I've pretty much cracked it all the way open. And you've got your Chinese dealer from the east, and this is a new dealer here. So this girl here, she sells some pretty cool tanks. You got a OF-40, an Italian tank. You got some really cool stuff down here. This is really, really different. And then you've got your Faraday, and this guy sells some pretty specialized tanks. Now, this will flush out into a lot more tanks over time. So, and where you want all of your premium tanks, your money tanks, the tanks that you're gonna pay real money for, are always sitting up here, and they got the gold button because you have to buy the gold, then you come back in game and you pay the gold. So you know you got Wolfie up here, and you got these ones, and Shishkin, and you know I've got a few of these already. This is the only one that I haven't bought yet. So that's how it works. Okay, and they all go into your garage on a carousel, just like World of Tanks or many other games that are like this, and you just go along. Okay. Another thing that the game has that is different than most games, it's really quite a hybrid game in the sense that it has a PvE mode that is dedicated to PvE. It has a PvP mode that is dedicated to PvP. Then it has something called global ops. Now, global ops is a mixture of the other two, PvE and PvP. It's actually my favorite part of the game. So basically with global ops though, because the population is either really strong into PvP or they're very strong into PvE, global ops doesn't get as much people into it. It's basically a weekend kind of warrior type mode. Weekends it's usually going pretty good. During the week, not so good. Okay. Now the company, the developer is pretty active with their community. They are releasing new tanks, new skins, new commanders, and new things into the game all the time. We have new content coming all the time, and we have an actual campaign mode where it's an actual story that you're following along. And you have some voice actors in there, and you have some stuff going on. And that actually can get quite challenging. If you look at the mode selection here, so when you're going to play the operation, okay, it gives you different prizes. And you can do battalion, you can take a battalion, you can play player versus player or co-op missions, okay? Now, the operations go from challenging to hardcore, and you have special operations like Arabian Nights right now is the big new story going on with the Caribbean crisis. So you're basically fighting against this really crazy arms corporation guy who's out to dominate the world. And so you're the good guys kind of fighting against this, and you go all over the world. As you see, the entire planet's on here. I mean, for Christ's sakes, I think there's even a battle in Canada. The most passive, like, sleeper country in the world, and there's some serious shit going on up there too in this game. It's really cool. So I'm looking forward to the years to come when they flesh out that storyline more, and we get a lot more missions to play and stuff like that. Now PvP. PvP is the same old thing that you see in most other player versus player game. Heavy on the RNG, weird matchmaking from time to time, and that's just the way it rolls. PvP will put you into the bigger maps, the maps that you don't see in PvE are in PvP. Okay, guys? So if you want to get into the really cool maps, you got to play PvP. If you don't like PvP, you won't really get into those maps until you know, the 4 times a year or so that they put up an event, and then the maps will be incorporated into a PvE, PvP kind of thing. And really, you know, PvP, I mean, some people don't like it because they don't like getting killed. They don't like the hostile environment when players are upset and screaming at them and stuff. But that's just the way it is, right? I've always said to people that don't like PvP, I said PvP is fun. How do you do well in PvP? You just got to be a real good loon. Basically, you just let the shit roll off your back, right? So anyways, that's what the game is basically about. And today what we're going to talk about, keeps wanting to go into that panoramic. So what we're going to talk about today is we're going to talk about this really cool little tank in Tier 2. And it's called the M51 Eisherman. Now the M51 Eisherman is basically a Sherman tank. And after the war, the United States sent a whole slew of these things over to Israel, and Israel took it and do what they always do, rip the thing apart and built it back to what they need. Okay, so they basically took the engine out because a lot of Shermans either had a radial engine in it from an airplane, or they had a big V8 in the back. A little underpowered, a lot of people would say, but the tank was extremely mobile in World War II. What the Israelis did is they took the power plant out and they put in a really good diesel engine. And so the thing was now quicker, could go longer ranges. Also what they did, they changed the targeting system, they changed the radios, they changed a lot of what was going on with this thing. The biggest change to me would be the gun. They went with a great big huge French gun. I think it's 100 millimeter. I think it might say here. So no, it doesn't really say. Let's see, info. Here we are. 1965. Okay, the M51 Super Sherman is what it's called. Now, in the game, there is an M51 Super Sherman in Tier 1. They're basically the same tank. There's a couple of different little things that are a little bit different in the modeling and a little bit different numbers, okay? So, so the Super Sherman, a medium tank produced between 1962 and 65. Okay, so what they were, they're Shermans, World War II Shermans. So when they say they were 1962 to 65, that's when the heavy modifications to the original Shermans were being done. I don't think any more Shermans were being built in 65, okay? So basically, the states were sending over these Super Shermans, and Israel got to replace their M4s. So, and they kept them till 1970. Pretty good run. Heavy armor, increased damage per shot because of the great big heathen gun. Doesn't tell me what size the gun is though. But you know, I could probably find that information out just by gawking at the internet, right? So basically, what this is a premium tank, and it's what we call in the game a money tank. What money tank means is that I paid real money to buy this tank. Okay, now in World of War tanks, World of Tanks, and this game, both of them operate the same way, where you're going to get increased yield in your XP and in your earnings because you paid money for the tank. So automatically, if I don't have a premium account now, so if I was to get a premium account, it increases, as you can see here, 50% more credits, and dealer acquisitions by 50%. So with a premium vehicle, I got to get down to this so it'll pop up and we can take a look at that. It does basically the same thing even if you have a standard account. Now, there is a bit of a nerf applied to premium vehicles if you have a premium account. A lot of people will dispute this, but it is true. There is a small nerf, you know, because then you would be making 100%, right? So premium vehicles increased rewards. Credits 50%, XP by 20. Okay, so your credits, so now you're making 100% more than everybody else, but your XP is down by 30. Okay, so there you are. So you're getting 70% with a premium vehicle if you have a premium account. It's a beautiful thing. Okay, so anyways guys, what we're going to do is we're going to roll this little puppy out. We're going to take it into a battle, do a nice little demonstration of the game. You're going to love the explosions, you're going to love the sounds, you're just going to love the sound of the guns, the engines. Everything blows up so incredibly cool in this game. Yeah, so let's take her out and see how this rolls. I'm running heat. I could run a different ammunition, but what the hell? Let's go out with some heat. Okay guys, see you on the other side. Okay, so here we are. We're in Operation Snakebite. And we have our primary objectives of take over the depot, defend the depot, and recover convoys ×3. No bonuses for cash, no bonuses for XP because we're only level 2. Got 4 level 1s and me as a level 2, which isn't going to really make much difference because the guns are pretty much the same. We got an M50 here, another one there. Got that little guy and that little guy and myself. So we're going to roll out and get a good look at the game. You can take a look at the map, take a look at all the explosions, check it all out. It's a pretty nice game.
We don't have a lot of time. To get to the PLM depot while they are out. Good luck.
So
doesn't look like they're expecting us.
So they're all going to go roll over there. I might get one guy come up behind me. I always usually come along this way.
Don't let those trucks get away. The PLM is feeding the government's emergency supplies.
As you can see, the tank moves along, even with just one skill on the crew.
Identify target.
This guy's rolling in in a big fat hurry. Okay. The planes, one of the objectives is to
identify target.
ourselves a target.
Further heat.
we got ourselves a 314 point hit right off the bat. We reload and finish him.
Target down.
He is down. Got another one on the circle, so we want to get this objective.
Target down.
And there we go.
Good work.
First objective down. Let's go over to the airfield and set ourselves up for a little bit of sniping. And this game's just like World of Tanks. Gotta situate yourself so that you got the maximum benefit for you.
Target down.
Got one down. Scope in, get a bit better shot. He's still there. If my commander isn't as experienced, let's get him in the butt if we can. Oh, just missed him. Okay, let's see if we can get it right this time.
Target eliminated.
Just sort of hang out back here. So, in the game, if you were shooting AP, it goes super fast. Heat is a little slower, as you could see. You could kind of watch it go along there. So with heat, you actually will have to lead your shots. You will actually have to set your elevation and all that good stuff. Comes one. See if we can get this guy. Track them. Somebody's going to get him before I do. I shot anyway, but whatever. Let's get this one. A nice little M50. 378. Not bad damage. 5.2 seconds. And we got another kill. For reload. So reload will get better as the crew goes up a little bit. So I'm going to circle up and around here. And because I've learned to kind of do that with this map. And like any other shooter game, you always have greater success when you're not in such a big hurry. You just sort of poke along and take your time, and things sort of will come to you, and that's the safest way to go. And we got a couple of objectives that still have to be met up on the hill there. One right here, up there where you see the line on the map where I'm pointing. So I'm going to go up there and get that cap off, because we need the buckaroos for all the objectives, right? And they will start to spawn like crazy once we get the second and third objective over with.
Awesome. Tank.
There's a tank right here.
Good work. Target eliminated.
Down. So when I come up here, nice. That was sweet. Hit the helicopter. That was actually fluky positioning on my part. Anyway, sweet. I'll take that anytime. Let's go up here over here. There's probably one or two guys just sitting here. Ouch. And we're taking a bit of heat. We got a broadside shot because that guy sort of just spawned out of nowhere. So we've got 7 kills so far. Not too bad. It's amazing how fast they accumulate. So we got to get up here to that round circle. Here comes an easy kill.
Target eliminated.
And another one coming through. Nope, I think he got it. Okay, move up. Good looking tank. All the animations are in there. Looking really good. So hopefully we get this without too much, and we got it.
We will send someone to recover the stolen supplies.
And so I'm going to sit up here and we're going to watch, because those guys are sitting on the cap. They're going to start getting spawned on like crazy. Nice. Nice fire, eh? Look at how that sucker just burning up. Going up on the hill. We got the range. This is where check the range.
Target destroyed. Enemy reinforcements incoming.
Shell went really, really good. Really good range on this gun. Of course, the modeling is excellent. Everything looks really nice in this game. There's one coming down the hill. See, back up a little bit. Yeah, a little F-50. We just about didn't get him. So if that was an AP shell, I would have hit where I was aiming near the midsection of that tank.
Target down.
But because just that tiny bit slower, I just about didn't get him. That guy was killed just before my heat shell hit. I could get this guy, but I'm not. So you look on the map. You're always looking on the map. Now I know there's another guy over there, so my gun's kind of ready for him. And kind of watching that map, that little red dot in the map there. Let's just roll up here and see if we can get ourselves. There he is. There we go. Let's get this. Come on, poke out, poke out. He's in there. He'll light up. So my commander is having a hard time seeing him because of the distance that he's at.
Target eliminated.
And we got him. Alright, so, and this is just playing the tank with its strongest strength. And the game is set up like that. I mean, the very long shots. Got a supersonic gun on there, 105mm cannon. I looked it up before we came into this. And it does the distance. So I'm going to go down to the cap. Got 7 minutes and 13 seconds left on the clock. May as well go down there. As soon as we hit the cap, we should be getting a lot of spawns. And should get pretty interesting. Because the PT-85 is a little low on his health. He's a one-shot kill right now. We get up and we got a lot of these. Oh yeah, fuck you, pal. I'm not a bot, asshole. Stupid Russian retard.
Target down.
And we got ourselves a target. Kill. This guy should stay on the cap and we would cap out a bit quicker. So we're defending the post now. We recovered the convoys. We got one more objective to do. 44 seconds to stay. Once we get that objective, the game should close. And I don't know why I'm stuck down there. I'm just watching some of these other guys. Alright.
They won't be blowing up anything for a while.
Nice. Okay, so we got ourselves a victory. So we're going to go over to the other side and I'll show you how all of the results work and everything like that. And we've been doing a lot of tank features in this game. Game has a lot of tanks to talk about. And there are a lot of really cool tanks. Wait till you start seeing some of these Abrams and the Leopard 2s and all these really great modern tanks. They look phenomenal. So anyways, there we are, guys. That was it. So got ourselves quite a few kills and stuff like that. But yeah, the game is a heck of a lot of fun to play. You do get toxic people, especially the Russian guys. They tend to get upset, but whatever. Don't be afraid to give it back to them. It's all in the name of online gaming, and that's what we do in this world, right? Also, another thing I was going to show you, you also got these little things that you can put on. So there's a list of things that you can put on, and they will auto resupply themselves, just like World of Tanks. So what I've got is I've got myself a repair kit. I've got a spare parts kit so I can repair myself twice. And I usually throw on a medical kit to fix the driver, because it's the worst thing in the world when a driver gets killed or a gunner. And then all the way down here, kind of expensive if you have to use it, but you get a field rebuild kit, and it keeps you alive. So like if you get blown up and get killed, you have, I think, 15 seconds or something like that to hit that button, and it'll revive you over in a safe part of the map, and you go back into the Bible, whatever. So restores 100% hit points, 100% ammo. So a lot of guys, what they'll do is, if they're having a real stellar battle, is they'll be shooting, go through all of their ammo. They'll hit that button and they get reloaded with their ammo 100%. And in this game, the higher your damage, it's not your kills. Your kills don't count as much as the damage you do. So if you do 4,000 plus, 5,000 plus damage, that's when the money starts to really roll. Underneath that, money really doesn't really roll very good. If you're getting 3,000 or 4,000 damage, it's still pretty good, but you know, you really start to notice your earnings, you know, skyrocketing once you get over 5,000. Of course, having a premium account is going to help you out, right? Grabbing these suckers here, rebuild your tank 100%, you go back into the battle, you just keep on making money. You don't lose any money or XP if you die inside the battle. It just, you know, you get one more chance to stay in the game, basically. So we got that, and they also have these little boosters. So you earn these as you go along through the game. So you just sort of line them up, and I've earned all of these, okay? And you just line up what you want to put on the tank, and it is also an auto resupply, or you can have it as an off supply. I know of a lot of players that don't even use these, and they do quite well, right? But they do boost you up. So if you look at this one, Commander XP, you get plus 20% to your commander. So your commander's XP just keeps going up and up and up, and you're boosting it, right? This one here is a gold crew insignia, so your crew goes plus 40%. So you're getting more XP, so your crew will come up through its XP and get into its skills quicker. Helps you out a lot. Credits, plus 10% to your credits. Your reputation, plus 30%. And your bonus, your bronze XP insignia gives you experience plus 5. So it's all pretty interesting and really cool. Now, up here you're going to notice that I have gold. This is what I bought with real money, so I can use this to buy tanks. I can use this to convert it to real cash, or I can use this to take all of this free XP that's over here. This is what I own. The orange number is what I own. The 10 million underneath is what I could spend real money on to add to the gold number. Use the gold number to boost yourself through vehicles. So you can get through the vehicle tree quicker. If there's a tank you're really shooting for and you want to blow a few bucks out of your pocket, you can convert this XP and go get the tank. And that's like how it kind of works, man. So anyways, guys, that's it. That's the M51 Eisherman in Armored Warfare. And Armored Warfare is a free-to-play game. You download it on Steam, or you can get it right from MyCom, or yep, just punch in Armored Warfare. It'll take you straight to the website. You can download it, set yourself up an account, and just get rolling right away. Lots of premium tanks to buy. Lots of other cool stuff to buy. There's got some forums. They got everything. You know, it's a great community, and you will get shit on, and they will call you a bot, and they will call you a cheater. But that's just people that can't deal with the fact that they can't play with the shit, okay? And that you can. Anyway, guys, you know what? I'm going to close her down here, you guys. Welcome to subscribe. It'd be really cool. Shout out on the bottom to me, you know, give me shit, whatever you have to do. Give me some suggestions for games that you guys like. I'm going into a game here. There's 2 games coming up, and I'm going to be working on those quite hard to get the walkthroughs done. Now there's one real old game coming up. It's an old timer, really pixelated, but you get it through Windows 10 and you can play it for free. Okay? Or is it Google? I think it's a Google game now. Anyways, you will love it. It's a real classic. It's a very famous game, and you're going to totally dig it. The other game is a cheap $1.69 game you can buy on Steam, and it runs great in Windows 10. It's working just fine. Anyways, we're going to work on these games, and plus I've got the 2 tank games. World of Ships, I got a really nice introduction into World of Ships, because World of Ships is going to be a classic game. It's going to be around for a long time. Anyways, guys, I'm out of here. Okay, you guys enjoy your life. Take a look at this game, you tankers, and I'll catch you online. Okay. Anyways, guys, say whatever you have to say down below. Hit the bell to let yourself know when I'm posting, and subscribe. Let's get this going. Okay. Talk to you later. Bye.